Hi everyone, thank you Business Emerald for having me. Basically, Superior Wealth is a wealth education company as well as also investment advisory company related to properties. We do bespoke services from education to engagement and experiential. What I mean by that is that we provide our clientele from corporate clientele, case speaking engagement, as well as experiential sales and leadership workshop. We also do property tours and property investment networking events. Basically, Superior Wealth logo is called Your Mission, Our Passion. So we very much believe in being a real estate content and marketing solution based provider in the region. We adhere to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, corporate social responsibility while providing quality education. That's pretty interesting. So back in those days, we basically have to do a lot of part-time jobs. And when I have to do that, making money in the corporate world, and I still remember graduating as a mechanical engineering back then, I had to do even insurance. And during one of the insurance training, I was quite amazed. Personal finance, buying books and whatnot. And lo and behold, I basically changed my path from an engineer to a trainer. And of course along the ways I tried myself investing into a lot of asset class such as insurance, such as property, such as businesses including gold and silver or even stocks. But of course along the years I basically can vouch for it that one of the best asset class is still property investment, and that's the reason why I actually now being passionate into wealth education, specifically in real estate. I believe in every business there's always a special pool of talent that we require to perform a task. Back in those days when I have a different partnership, it was pretty interesting and the cost overhead was quite high. But I guess in every business there's always a culture there. I adopted a principle which I learned in a training class 15 years ago, which is called in service. In service are basically getting our volunteers in to basically serve together with us in our mission with a single purpose of basically upgrading themselves. So that's very much basically a leadership in action. Okay. I guess being quick with news as well as being adaptable and flexible is a quite important criteria these days. So to remain strong, I guess we are open to a lot of collaboration and partners in the market. So networking is very important, and I always believe that if we have more friends around, we'll definitely be able to triumph in our own space one day. Yes, I think the current state of the property market is much into speculation where there are more supply than demand. I wouldn't say in general, but there are specific areas, specific product types in the market that will have a more oversupply than the others, which is actually a good news if you are on the buyer side. Because ultimately in property, there's always the buyer and the seller. Alright? Sellers, such as the developers, they will be very, very motivated now to actually throw out some of the unsold products. But at the same time, I would say this is the best time for most of you, okay, if you're looking into buying properties or if you're looking into investing one. Yep. Biggest lesson, yeah? I guess everyone has their own lessons when it comes to property investment. For my part, I got stuck because I couldn't sell off, or basically I couldn't even rent out my property that I bought. For those of you who know my story, I basically bought a property off plan and it was quite far away from the city center. It was staffed. I'm having negative cash flow every other month. I guess patience is a virtue, and I learned that basically if you do not let go of your property, there's always still a chance. And that is one of the most important things that most people need to know when it comes to property investment, that know about our objective of going into property. Alright, so back then when I actually stumbled upon a lot of foreclosure property back in 2008, I refinanced the first property that I got, put some of the money into auction properties, and I actually flipped a few times. I also learned one thing, that in property it's actually a long-term investment. It is not a short fair play. Property is always about making money when you buy, not when you sell. Yeah. I always believe in managing priorities. Although it's always easier said than done, I'm blessed to have a understanding from my wife and my family, the attention that I'm supposed to give them, and I think that is something that we all need to grow to understand and improve along the way. Heartfelt. Whether we are recognized or not, it's more importantly the objective of why we are doing something. We actually received an award for even a community leadership for CSR excellence. I believe it actually spurs me and inspires me more to remind me of what actually I'm supposed to do in a community. The books are also one of the reasons why I came up to basically put it across as a message to people, that we should have a roof above our head and nobody should be denied a chance. And that's one of the reasons also why I actually donated the first batch of books to the orphanages in Nepal. Title or no title, I think I'm just still the same simple Alan Poon. Advice. I guess for those of you who are watching this, consider yourself young or young at heart, yeah? Wealth should be not equate with money. And the most important thing for youngsters or youth today is that to distinguish the difference between wealth and money from a very, very early age. Talking about time. If we manage our time and use our time wisely, in fact, time is money, yeah? And to me, wealth is not just about the dollar and cents. Wealth could be even wisdom, empowered aspiration, leading to happiness. At the end of the day, if you judge a person by the number of dollar and cents in the bank account, superficial, yeah? A person has to have substance, and a person needs to continue study, just like myself. I don't consider myself as a guru or an expert. I consider myself as a lifelong student, continuing to acquire wisdom from people around me. So for those of you watching this, bear in mind, make use of your time, put all your thoughts and wisdom into action. People around you could be helping you a lot. Just ask for their help. Alright? Thank you.